between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Denver Broncos. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go, here we go. Hey, Lucy, Lucy. 11B, 11B. Lucy, Lucy, Lucy. Mike 39, Lucy. Lucy, Lucy.
On first down, Bortles. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Bortles. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. And past the 30 down to about the 27. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
On 2nd down, Freeman trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Over.
On 3rd down, it's Freeman, and he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll throw on first down with Osweiler. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now, let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
On 3rd down, Osweiler. And he fires one, but incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And McManus able to put it through. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They keep it with Fournette on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Here we go. Green 80.
Shotgun now for Bortles. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Bortles now on first down. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Into the red zone, it's Bortles. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. If you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Todd Davis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Osweiler back into his end zone. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Watch him now, Barney!
Osweiler from his end zone on 3rd and long. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Marquette King now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Bortles to the former Jet, Safarian Jenkins for the Jags' first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Throwing on first down is Bortles. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game.
And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big play. Bortles to Westbrook. 48 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 more yards there and another first down.
T.J. Yeldon's not afraid to drop a shoulder or run through some tackles, is he?
Not at all. I learned it in his high school days in Alabama. Then, of course, stayed in state to play at Alabama. He could do that there.
And what I think is best about him, and when he's really on top of his game, when he's a little bit lighter, a little bit quicker, I think he's strong enough. He's compact enough to break those tackles. I think he's at his best.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Austin Safarian Jenkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. And I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Hurry up, here we go! Green, 39! Green!
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now, Barney, Barney.
They go play action with Osweiler. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there at 22. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And dropped at the 35, but able to display some strength on the run. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd down, it's Freeman. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield, guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. He'll be brought down short of the 15, but a really good move on the run. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now they'll throw it with Osweiler. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. His first catch, good for 16 and a 1st. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Royce Freeman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos are in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
On the return, here's Trey Edmonds. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Lee's got it over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation, already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Lucy. 372.
Here's Bortles to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Todd Davis coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
11. 380. 372.
Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
380. 11B.
Bortles now to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Von Miller in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. From the gun, it's Bortles. Going deep for Moncrief. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And coming out now, the Broncos. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard.
Watch him now, Barney. Over. Here we go now. Green.
Freeman. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney.
On 1st and 10, it's Osweiler. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Mullins. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. On 2nd down, Osweiler. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. And on 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Over!
Osweiler now to throw on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Jaguars getting set to go. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Looking long for Westbrook. And it's knocked away and incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. A final shot before half for Bortles. A throw left side complete to his receiver Westbrook. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. On the return, here's DeAndre White. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half. and they've had an ability to see what you've done, they're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Now it's Osweiler. Over the middle, complete. It's Mullins. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now Osweiler. Flushed out right. Got a man. He finds Sanders. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now it's Freeman. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw is Osweiler, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Dante Fowler in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Detroit!
From the shotgun, Osweiler looking for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Thomas, the intended target. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Touchdown, Jaguars. Dante Moncrief, 82 yards. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead is now 14-10. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. On the return, here's White. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Osweiler on 2nd down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 4, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
The Broncos on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Sunday.
On 1st down, Bortles. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lee. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. The pitch to Fournette, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And Denver getting set to take the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Final minute now of the third quarter.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Over.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Osweiler. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Osweiler. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Denver. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. This is fielded at the 7. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Mike 39, Lucy.
They begin with a run by Fournette. Oh, he's got a little daylight. He finds an opening past the 40. He's at the 40. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. A big run by the big man Fournette. 57 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's got this one down to the 10. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Green 80. Hey, spread left. Spread left.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
Play action. It's Osweiler. Throw left side complete. That's Freeman. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On first down, Osweiler. Flush to his right. They find some open field here. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Osweiler, they'll set up the screen for Freeman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Freeman, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Over. Switch.
Here's Osweiler. Escaping the pressure right. And he slides to avoid the hit. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
Zero.
A 20th carry now for Freeman. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Osweiler. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Osweiler. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Osweiler to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown. They needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
it doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Back to throw. And this one's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, you know, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Bortles going to throw here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lee. And, oh, he coughed it up. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. It's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw, Bortles. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So the Broncos coming out now. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Blair Brown in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
The Broncos on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be third and forever.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time, because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on fourth down.
Lucky 56.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it's looking like the Jags are going to win this football game. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand. It's an 8th loss of the year, and that one cements the fact that they're not going to reach their goal of finishing over 500.
And that's too bad, because they really pressed for it. You know, they gave it a heck of a run, but now they've got to find out who's going to play hard down the stretch and still try and win ball games.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.